have you ever made a budget? Have you ever sold anything? If you've ever sold anything, have you ever considered how many of the costs that you have in producing what you're selling are actually included in the price that you're taking? This is Marco. Marco is a very talented woodcutter. Marco makes these beautiful heads out of hardwood that he collects in the forest. He's never thought about the costs of producing everything because he thinks that it's for free. He walks into the forest, he picks up the wood, he goes back home, he cuts out the heads, and he walks back down to the center of the city where he meets tourists like me who will gladly pay him €5 to produce this head. But what Marco has maybe forgotten is that he has to pay for his insurance in case he cuts himself. He has to pay for new knives when they get worn. He has to pay for someone to help him figure out how to make accounts, how to pay taxes, because at some point he might actually start making so many heads that it'll become more than just something he does on the side, and he could maybe even make a living from it, and then he would have to pay other people. So in order to not get completely lost in all these numbers, Marco would maybe have benefit from learning to make a budget. We call this micro-macro budgeting because sometimes the big Excel file, the big sheet can be very complicated to start working with. There are so many different points and so many different expressions that you have to work your way into. And that can take a long time. So we're going to give Marco a very simple task. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you can copy him at home. So the task is you take the micro example, which is what is the next thing that you're going to sell? In Marco's case, it's a head.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to sell a head. And the exercise is how do you cover all the other costs that you have in your production work into the price of 1 or 2 or 5 or 100 heads. Do that exercise from yourself, starting from the smallest example, then try to remember everything. Try and ask yourself, what are actually all the possible different costs that I have in my everyday life in order to be able to sell these in the market, and after I've sold them, if I want to make a decent legal living. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You ready for that exercise?
Mm-hmm.
Go. Hope you are too.